I'm confident these are the best Ninjago customs in the market currently, and I think we should check them out. And first of all, we're going to start off with probably the highlight. It's these NRG minifigures. These look incredible. I cannot, like, oh, just the fact that they're transparent makes them way more show accurate, I believe, rather than the official ones. Speaking of those, the prices at the moment, outrageous. These larpers need to stop because it's just become a trend and I'm not a fan of it. Anyway, let's start off with NRG Cole. He is, I can't pick a favorite, but he looks incredible. You can go, if I can get rid of it, the Scythe of Quakes here in black, reminding me of the obsidian weapons from Shadow of Roman, the DS game, obviously. Here's a minifigure. It's crazy, considering these aren't like technically customs, these are knockoffs. But for the quality, it's not bad. And when I ordered these, I didn't expect the plastic to be amazing. It's not, but it ain't horrible. Please ignore the ink on my fingers. And then the fact that we get a bonus head print as well. It's just that extra little cherry on top that makes the figure look so much nicer. And you can't really see the detailing under the mask when the hood's on, which is quite good as well, but that's just the fact that it's a smokier kind of black, I'd say. But no, Cole looks incredible. And overall, I need to move my hand. Overall, figure looks great. And I thought we'd do Zane next. He's an interesting one because he is purely clear, but let's start off with these shurikens of ice in this just chrome silver. This looks incredible. Detailing is amazing, but we'll move on to the weapons later because there's something else. And no, Zane's printing, I think it just pops. The way it's on the clear just makes it pop out so much more. Especially on his chest, I don't know. Camera's not showing it very well, but it is a much more lighter kind of white in person. But no, he looks incredible. Same with the dual-sided head print. I think that looks great. But the only problem with Zane is that you can see his mouth there, but turn him around, you can see the eyes. But at the same time, it kind of does blend well, especially with the back printing. But it's still a bit troubling. But I think we can manage with that, honestly. No, Zane looks great. He's definitely he's on display. You know, all these figures are, but you know, it pops. It looks so nice. Moving on to Kai, he looks amazing. Again, we'll start off with his weapon, Sword of Fire. Now this is very similar to the actual mold, but it is quite different. But I love the red we get. It's a nice kind of dark maroon, I'd say, kind of red. Oh, something fell. But no, he looks great, honestly. Again, head print. This one, oh, I don't know. This printing is just so accurate to the actual minifigure. I think it's great. That fire printing, shiny again. Oh, you can really see it there. That shine, and just it's just incredible. Same with the back printing. He's got a cheeky little smirk. I think that it looks a bit off. The face is a bit too, or not the face, the mouth is a bit too low there. But you know, it still works really well, I'd say. And see the legs through the torso, but the way the printing's over it, it kind of doesn't really, it's not that big of a fuss to me personally, I'd say. The car looks great, again with the Mars, that fire over the top. His printing doesn't really show through the back, maybe a little bit, but you know, it's not the worst. And now moving on to Jay, he looks great. His design was always one of my favorites of the official NRG, but his nunchucks, these are insane. Like the chain actually going through, they keep getting a bit caught. It's quite awkward. Putting these together was quite interesting. The way you have to put the chain on yourself. But oh my, the hilt's incredible. So much more show accurate than Lego's ever done. But more on that later. Moving on to the minifigure. He looks great. His design is always one of my favorites. I'll say Zane is my most favorite. He doesn't really have that shine like the others, but it's still very nice. That yellow just pops on him so well. And I'm around to the back here, those strikes down his back, you know, nothing too special, but still just so nice. Face printing, his head is a bit weirder, it doesn't really stay on as well. But his face printing looks incredible. Both sides, I'd say. Even including that slit. Oh, just amazing, honestly. It's like these figures, considering the price I got them, speak more on that later. It's like, you cannot pass it up. Honestly, these minifigures are so worth it. All of the NRGs, like, they're so on par with the Lego, I'd say. Just the plastic quality is a bit worse. Maybe, you know, I thought we'd take a look at their casual outfits, because I've always think these are so cool and I've always wanted them in Lego. I know we have Jay, kinda. I mean, we got them all for the movie, but Kai's is mega expensive. It's just not as good as the show. Also, side note, Lloyd would have been at the end there, but turns out I just forgot to add him to the order. Anyway, so of some of these minifigures, Zane, this is official, his head's official, the hands are official. That's a bit of blood from one of my videos, I probably know more. But anyway, the head that he came with, we'll start off with Zane to have a look at that. Same with Cole, he was a ghost. Jay's hair's the official one, same with Kai. But their faces are from the company. But taking a look at Zane here first. Now, his torso and legs, incredibly show accurate. The belt even goes around to the back, which I don't think Lego actually does. But they've gone the extra step to do that, and it looks amazing, honestly. Like, this looks ripped straight out of the show. Literally the episode where they visit Cole's father for the Fangfire Blade. Or whatever it was called, I can't remember. Fang Blade, yeah. But, you know, it's perfect, honestly. I've always wanted these as real minifigures, and the fact that, you know, now I can is, I don't know, it just feels so complete. But the head he came with, we're going to take a look at this real quick back here. It looks fine. There's no real issues with it. It's the hair more than anything. It was a fight to take it off, so that's why I've just left them apart. But comparing it to the official one, it is the same. It's just a lot less detail, I'd say, which conflicts with another figure we'll get into. But, you know, it's nothing horrible. But it does the job. It's just slightly off. It's more of a gunmetal grey as well, which I find fairly interesting. But it works. It works. Now moving on to Kai here. He looks great. I love that torso. I think there's a little fire in between. Just it is really Kai. And I'm pretty sure in the show he might have had brown legs, but then they changed it to dark red for Skybound during the scene where they were hiding. I feel like, but I'm not too sure. That could have just been the colour, or like the lighting, for say. Now his hair, of course, is the official logo one. Don't know if that's going to show. It might just be just official, trust me. But anyway, here's the hair he came with. Now this isn't horrible. I was expecting it to be plastic, but it's still rubber. It's a fairly similar one to what Lego's done, but of course it's a lighter brown, and it doesn't look horrible. It works for sure. But a close look at Kai, his face, it's fairly nice. It's like the printing is bold. It's sized correctly, the placement is just a bit low. Now, this may have just been a problem with my minifigure, I'm not too sure. But, you know, it's really accurate. Now, I have the visual head here from Hands of Time, and mine's a bit worn out due to time, but considering that's a knockoff, they've done a really good job at replicating that. Now, maybe it's just where it's been worn. His scars look a bit thinner. They're a bit bolder. It's got that extra little bit at the bottom there. Again, mine could have just worn off. But it's done really well. It's sad the fact that it's a bit low. Otherwise, it would have been perfect. But saying that, with how his hair is, it lines up really well. So his hair doesn't cover his eyes or his eyebrows or anything. You get that full expression from Kai. And it works really well. So, then again, I really like it. I enjoy it. I think they've done a really good job. Now it's time for Cole, of course. Same thing with his head and hair. It's official parts, because, you know, I prefer that look. But, oh no, let me get his head real quick. Now his head really surprised me. put his hair on as well. This hair's kind of ugly, but it works. Now, how is this unofficial? How is this unofficial? This looks so good. The ghost cowl looks so good. Let me grab his actual ghost head. Because what do you mean? These are pretty much identical. It's just the coloring's a bit different. The printing is exact. Like, it blew me away when I saw this. The fact that that's unofficial. If you never got the chance to get ghost cowl, this is perfect. Like, you could put this on the Skybound or Possession suit and you wouldn't even know it's fake, honestly. It looks so good. Anyway, moving back to the minifigure. Again, it looks great still. It still looks amazing. The belt follows around to the back. The printing, it lines up well. You know, it's not over the top printing, but it's show accurate, and that's what I'm looking for. And I think it's captured that really well. Moving into his hair. Slight molding error. Kind of ugly, but his hair's so common anyways. I had plenty before. I even got them in the sets, you know. But yeah, it works, does its job well. But that head really is the highlight for me, and I think it's so worth considering. So cheap, so unbelievably cheap. But that's cool, and I think it's perfect. It honestly is perfect. Last but not least, Jay. Again, incredible. Official hair. Let me switch it out for you quick. Show you. It doesn't really come on properly, and the orange is slightly off. So that's why we're just gonna remove that, put that back on there, and bosh. Jay from the show. Again, printing so nice. Head incredible. Just flip him around back. Accurate. Belt continues. Face print. Looks official. It baffles me how they've got this so good, considering a lot of Lego knockoffs are just known for looking horrible, and you know, just the proportions are so weird. But these ones, they do it so well, and it's like, now I can have the ninja in their casual forms, apart from Lloyd, because again, I'm an idiot. Moving on, we have some other minifigures. Of course, we have young Lloyd, Dareth, and RX Cole. That's it. Oh, it's out of focus. RX Cole. Now, the worst out of these three is definitely Lloyd. You know, his hood, to begin with, is a bit funky. The torso printing, it's not quite as good as the rest, but, you know, it is well. And, yeah, his hood is just a nightmare, and that face print is, it's a bit large, and the head just seems a bit weird, you know. It's oversized. But that's not the worst thing about this minifigure, because there's been quite a bit of a trend of the characters getting different face prints as the other side. Now, this face print, officially, it has, you know, it has Lloyd smirking. This one does as well, but...
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
What the fuck is that? Genuinely, I don't even, like... Is it supposed to be Legacy? I think it is. It looks better with the hood on somehow. But with the hood off... God, it's interesting, and I've just removed this cape. You know, I was hoping his dual-sided face would be the old Lloyd head pre-rebooted, but no. Just look at Dareth. Dareth looks incredible. Of course, this is the rebooted Darren from that one poly bag. Only thing with him is something on his hips that just just a bit gunky. But apart from that, his figure looks amazing. Again, I did put the official hairpiece on because it's the same thing. Like, his hair looked really well, but it's just a few scuffs on the side now. I can't remember where I put it already, which is silly, but you know, Yeah, his face, I wouldn't be able to tell it's fake, honestly. Wouldn't be able to tell it's fake. It genuinely looks incredible. The only thing that's a bit off is those moulding lines on the top of the head. But yeah, apart from that, Dareth is incredible. But he came with some interesting accessories. First, he had, you know, brown swords. That's kind of cool. You know, those only come in a few places. Yeah, he came with the mountain climber armor from Dragon's Rising, which I thought was pretty interesting. Oh, the helmet is, the top part of the mask is on there. But yeah, this isn't horrible, you know. It's a cool addition. Don't quite get why, but you know, I'll take it. I feel like it might look nice on, you know, if you want to have your own kind of coal armor, it might work. But that is on there. Hold up, that is kind of, there it is. Also found his hairpiece. See where the molding's a bit scuffed, especially there. But you know, it's nothing horrible. It works. I'm pretty sure you should be able to. This might look cool. I don't usually deal with this on. You can. That's kind of cool for a Dareth. And also, that sword is in there. That one comes out a lot easier. So you know, it has its issues, but overall, the figure's still amazing. I'd still say it's worth it. Cole RX. The swords, they're a bit shinier than Legos, you know. The armor, it's missing the shoulder pad. But the mask goes a bit too low. But if you showed me the minifigure like this, it would take me a minute to realize it's a fake. He looks incredible. I was not expecting this from this minifigure. I mostly wanted it for the RX arms because I never got them. I always thought they were so cool. But his head is, it's insane because my original is so worn out from years ago. But this, it looks incredible and I would never have expected it. And this minifigure gets even cooler, where he came with another little side bag. And inside were these. The RX printing on regular yellow arms, non-transparent. Now, I don't know why Lego had never made these, especially for when Forbidden Spinjitzu was coming out. The old brain era, they started utilizing this a lot more, it seems. And it's like, finally have a chance to do that. Now, that wasn't the only thing, of course. There was also another head print, which I wish it was this, but with an orange scar, but it was still just a plain blank one. But again, it looks just a bit too big for like a regular minifigure, for like Lego standards. But this is still great. From a fake, it looks insanely good, and I would have never like thought that these fake companies would have got this good. There's also a hairpiece as well. It looks great. This minifigure blew me away. And it's one of the highlights of this order, I'd say. Surprisingly, I was not expecting this quality from this. But yeah, hang on, let's look at this back, please. It's kind of cool how now we've got the side bit, but with no shoulder armor. Pretty interesting. Anyway, minifigure, incredible. Honestly, one of the best out of the lot. And that's hard to choose, considering what there is. Okay, now we have Legacy 2 Zane and Nia. That's not his head, hair, or mask. That is her head, hair, and mask. These, my hopes were not high for this. I wasn't expecting them to be that good. Turned out better than I thought, because the pictures they had were mostly just renders. Torso and legs look really well, on par with the others. We'll do a comparison in a second. But the head, hair, and mask, you know, Nia's mask, it works. It's not too bad. I think it matches pretty well. Zane's, again, not the worst. I think his one was a bit more scuffed than hers. No, not really looking back, but let me just swap out Zane's head and whatnot real quick. And pretty interesting. His hair is just a low detail version of his original. His head, that's the cherry on top, because you know it had potential. Just starting off with the back, it had potential. It's just it's a bit too small. It had potential, you know. Smiling Zane, we don't really get those often. I think the only time we've had Zane in his newest head smile was on the Forbidden Spinjitzu spinner, and Detective Zane, I still need to get the head off that. But you know, it's not the worst. I mean, Nia's isn't incredible either. But what have we learned about their dual-sided heads, you know? Nia, her front one, it can like focus properly. I think it has now. Isn't overly horrible. But turn it around, we start to see some issues. So stretch res. Looks so stretched out. And it's quite a look. But you know, I feel like the torso and legs are really what make these minifigures. Oh, and her hand's not in properly. The minifigures, I still say they're worth it. If you want to complete the collection of the Legacy 2 minifigures like I do, they're worth it. But apart from that, it's up to you. Last but not least, we have these. No, this isn't actually last, but not the point. We're not focusing on the minifigures this time. We're taking a look at their golden weapons. Now these, you know, we've already seen the molds, but having them in that flat color is insane. We'll start off again. I'll go with the nunchucks of lightning here. Incredible. Only problem is that chain. It's a bit finicky, but apart from that, it looks perfect. I'd say like that gold is a bit too shiny, but it's what we've needed all these years. The only thing I would like different is maybe a blue chain to match that lightning effect, but apart from that, these are so good. The detail, honestly perfect. Now you could have got these in chrome, but I thought it looked more on par with with just this pearl gold plastic, and it does. Sword of Fire, you know, for scaling, I'd say it's better. Detail wise, it's about the same as the official Lego one. But, you know, still very nice. Scales way better with minifigures because the original is like massive. Like this one's just about the same height as Kai, but the original, it's like it's too big. So this is better. I wouldn't say it's better, but it's not worse. They're about the same as each other. Depends what you like more. Scythe of Quakes. This has needed a mold for years. This is honestly perfect. All you could ever ask for, and it looks so nice to finally have one. That just lines up well with the minifigures. Like for instance, put this with Cole. That looks so nice. Yes, I did swap his head already. Not the point. That just looks so nice. It's finally, it just feels complete now. Shurikens of Ice. Again, detail impeccable. But the only problem with is that they just don't have that proper clutch ability. Like they're not horrible, but they're just a bit loose where they're not like fit for their hands properly. The hands can't properly clip them. At the same time, they're not too bad, but they'll come loose easy. They're still amazing. Now, what else came with the weapons? I don't know what this is. I don't really care about Dragon's Rising. I know it's from that. I know this isn't Ryu. That's all I know. I don't know if it's just like a detail piece or whatnot, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I can't really tell you nothing about it, but the Overlord armor. Now this is cool, because if you want a legacy mock of Lloyd and Garmadon fighting off the Oni, this could be cool. And you can still wear it as an actual armor piece. We'll just put it on. See, now we've got Tung Tung Sahur with the Overlord armor. Yeah, don't ask why I made one. That's funny, isn't it? But either way, even on minifigures, this looks pretty cool, and you can they still got posability. So if you want to put this over an Overlord minifigure, it could look nice. I feel like it does look better by itself though. But you know, it's still very nice. It's still really cool. Now I did get 2 other minifigures with this order. I have my reasons why. The first one is Sarah from Fortnite Save the World. I know a lot about Save the World. I couldn't care about the minifigure. I just wanted the hood because it's like the Time Twins, and I don't know, it's really cool. But she does have the super interesting cape piece, which is kind of cool. Or what it could be used for, maybe like a Robin or something. It's still pretty cool. Hood is the only reason I got it though. The minifigure is honestly nothing special. You know, the kind of minimalistic detailing, very simple, no dual head. But Time Twins hood, fairly cheap. It's cool. I like it. We got Peter Griffin in Lego, guys. We got Peter Griffin and Brian. I had to do that. And they look so shit, and I love it so much. It's just look how stupid he looks. They went pretty good on the torso and leg printing. The arms are horrible. The head, he doesn't even have his glasses, but it's just so funny and I love it. But Brian looks so nice. Brian looks pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie to you here. Overall, I'd say these minifigures are very worth it. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons. Pros, insanely cheap. Like, I think the most expensive one was Darren, and that was maybe £1. Like £1 and like 3 pence or something. It was stupidly cheap. They're all so cheap. Like, overall, this order cost me about £13, including shipping. How cheap is that? That is so ridiculously cheap. Now, the quality-wise, it's hit or miss, it seems. But if you like Ninjago, if you've missed out on certain minifigures, if you want to complete suit collections that Lego didn't do, incredibly worth it. Now, I genuinely don't see any downsides to these. Like, the only problem that it is fake, especially when certain figures are out of production, especially the NRG, the RX. It's stupid not to, you know. And I think if you enjoy Ninjago and you want to show it off, this is perfect. And the site that I bought them from has loads of different minifigures, as you can see by Peter Griffin, you know. They have a whole line of Five Nights at Freddy's ones. I was thinking maybe a part 2 with that, and get the one that I missed with this, maybe some others, because I know they have some other interesting minifigures on there that I wanted to get, but I was like, these are good, I'll go back, get them, and these have turned out incredible, and this video does well. It's definitely going to be a part 2. Now, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know which one is your favourite. What did you enjoy? What one's the funniest to you? And if you enjoyed, obviously leave a like, subscribe. Expect more videos soon. I was putting off making a video because I was just genuinely waiting for these. I want to recreate some scenes and whatnot. And you know, ideas are flowing, but videos soon. Back on schedule. I want to do some Five Nights at Freddy's. I want to do some Ninjago and maybe some DC. But for now, that's all. And I shall get back to doom scrolling.